Hello, beautiful dear soul ones. Welcome to this series. This is a series about transmuting and releasing emotions. We're going to talk about how we can transmute and release emotions. What does that even mean? We're going to talk about the different aspects and perspectives of that. And then during this series, we'll talk about triggers, how to transmute anger, guilt, fear, disappointment, and some other common emotions. This particular series wanted to also come out right now due to the transitional beautiful phase we are in, 2019 April, March-April transition. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Emotions, releasing and transmuting emotions. First of all, emotions, they're not part of us, right? We are an empty cup, a vessel, a beautiful being of light, and life happens to us. There's lots of things that happens, and when we are very happy, we can feel a lot of happiness, and the flavor of happiness fills up our cup. It gives us color. So right now we are feeling this emotion that is temporary. It is not who we are, but it is who we are in that moment in time. Does that make sense? We take on this happiness, and we can also take on a lot of sadness, and we can also take on a lot of anger. And sometimes we don't express our emotions, so there's no time that we empty this cup to allow more space, especially when we're dealing with negative emotions, despair, guilt, anger. So as we're feeling more negative emotions, our cup gets fuller and fuller and fuller until it overflows, right? And usually when it overflows at this moment in time, we may have an emotional release, a breakdown, but let's call it a breakthrough. You may have, a burst out of anger. You may, just boil over with whatever emotions have been filling up your cup and never been able to release. So it's just like one big volcano. So the good news about the volcano is, well, it released. That's good. But if we would like to bring a little bit more control and consciousness towards it, we can make sure we keep on emptying our cup so that our cup, starts to go down, starts to create more space. So every time we do feel anger, disappointment, frustration, we really acknowledge and release and transmute that emotion, so that every day we can show up with an empty cup. And then every day we can fill up that cup and empty the cup and fill it up and empty it. This would be a very fruitful way to deal with our emotions, so we don't have this overflowing, overboiling point where we just explode, right? And this is how, if we do this in our daily practice, we can, I don't want to say control our emotions, but be very conscious and aware and present with our emotions. Once we are present with our emotions, we really are present in the now and here. We are really present with our body, mind, and soul. We are really allowing ourselves to fully embody that emotion, right? We're honoring that right now we have some water or some emotion in our glass and being. We know that this emotion is not us. We are not always angry. We are not always happy. We are not always sad. But when we are feeling these things, we kind of become it, right? We become this water until we can release it and kind of create a clear canvas once more to receive and release more different emotions. So I hope this explains the concept of releasing and transmuting emotions. And there are healthy ways we can release, like I mentioned, slowly releasing and being present. And then there are ways we can transmute certain emotions. For example, if we keep on feeling angry, how about for that exact reason you felt angry, how about we transmute that anger so that next time that exact same situation happens, you will never be angry again, because you went in there and you looked what anger was being triggered and you looked at it and transmuted it, right? Releasing means we could be angry. Every time that happens, we're always angry. Yes, feel the anger, release the anger. Feel the anger, release the anger. That's stage one. But if we don't want to ever get angry, and okay, we're going to get angry. Sure, we're not here to all be Buddhas, but if we don't want to get angry for those same constant reasons, kind of going in a cycle, in a loop, then it would be beneficial to really look at the anger and the origin, the source, the seed of this anger, question it, look at it, and see how we can transmute it so that when the exact same situation arises, you don't become angry. Perhaps you even become joyful and happy during, or maybe you even laugh during that situation because you've learned how to transmute it. So when we are holding on to different emotions, we hold on tight and we don't empty our cup, right? These emotions that we hold on to, they start to get an entity. They start to get a personality. They start to live within our etheric and emotional beings. So what happens then is every time we go through life, we have this extra luggage or emotion that's just laying around and ready to explode at every moment in time, ready to ready to really teach us. But we don't want to learn and transmute because we push those emotions away. Every uncomfortableness that we ever feel, anger, frustration, anxiety, fear, they're all opportunities for us to learn a lesson. It's all an opportunity for us to transmute that emotion. It's all an opportunity for us to know ourselves better and release whatever origin that comes from, so it doesn't happen again. And when we are holding on to these emotions, we're holding on to a bunch of lessons we haven't learned yet. Yeah? And that can get tiring because our luggage can get really, really heavy, And we're carrying all these lessons that we didn't release yet. And really, we just want to learn a lesson, fill up the cup, and then learn the lesson, bring it back empty, and the next day we can learn new lessons and let go of lessons. But when we can't learn a lesson and let go of a lesson, then we get stuck, and then we get luggage, and then we get emotional baggage, and then it gets complicated. For example, perhaps you had a very difficult father or mother, right? Who was really mean to you and tough to you, and really it was life giving you a lesson how to have more compassion towards elders who had a hard upbringing. But the lesson wasn't learned. Instead, there was a lot of emotion, a lot of sadness, and thus the luggage and the lesson started to get bigger, and it got more of an identity. It became heavy. And in this way, we're bringing all these lessons with us in life and we're not light, we're not empty. And only when we're empty, an empty cup, can we receive more love, can we receive more lessons, can we grow more from an empty canvas. But if the canvas is already full, if our cup is already full, if our luggage, our baggage is already so full, then how is there opportunities for new opportunity, new lessons, and new inspirations to come in? There's no space for it, right? I think I spoke about this in some other videos. Clearing the canvas, so important. And yeah, so remembering this is like, this reality we're in at this moment in time, where it's, in my perspective, we're in the university of life. Everything you do, you see, every emotion that comes up, every frustration and moment of resistance and hardship and darkness are all opportunities to learn. To learn about life, to learn about yourself, and learning about yourself is learning about the universe and others. Learn about the universe, you can learn about yourself. It's not separate. My darkest moments in life, my most darkest, frustrating, despaired, moments of my life have been my greatest teaching moments. And I wouldn't exchange them for nothing, ever. Even the ones that, at that time I was really embarrassed about and really, subconscious about, and really at that moment in time I regretted it. I don't believe in regrets, and I think we'll talk about regret as well. I'm just writing that down. All of those moments were my biggest teaching moments. They really made me see new perspectives about myself, about life, about the universe. And by going through those darker moments, I could take 5 leaps ahead, right? So it's really embracing that darkness, embracing our shadow, embracing our emotion. Because again, we cannot get to the light if we don't acknowledge the darkness. We have to acknowledge the darkness. If we're only pretending that everything's fine all the time and everything's okay, we're not acknowledging the darkness. And if we don't acknowledge it, then how can we release it, transmute it, and let it go? We all want, a lighter world, a beautiful world full of love and light. But to get to the love and light, we have to be really real and see, wait a minute, what is the mess and the darkness we got to clean up right here today to get to the lightness? And if you're not willing to do this groundwork, then we're not going to really get there. And we need all of us on board to do the work so that we can get there as a whole, right? Because we're not separate. Separation is an illusion. And one of the most important things about releasing our emotions, transmuting our emotions, is taking responsibility. They're my emotions. They're my triggers. No one made me feel angry or frustrated or whatsoever. These are the lessons that I've been holding on to, the triggers that I have not yet released and transmuted. This is the work of lessons, my homework of the university of life that I've put into a luggage and I'm taking with me, that I have not released. And since I have not released all of this, I'm giving away the power to my emotions. I'm giving away the key to the whole world to trigger the emotions that I have not yet released, because they are my responsibility. He or she cannot make me angry. He or she cannot frustrate me. He or she cannot make me sad. I am the owner of my emotions. And it's my responsibility to clean my emotions so that others can't trigger me. And if they do, I do not blame them. Nor do I blame myself. But I see it as an opportunity to grow, to rise, to expand. Right? An opportunity to let go. Release that. In fact, instead of even blaming, I may even thank that person and say, Thank you for making me so angry and frustrated. You just highlighted this major lesson I've been holding on to for the last 20 years that I have hidden so well within my soul and psyche. And thanks to you, you shined a light in the darkness of my emotional baggage. And now I am able to release it. I bless you. How about that? Yes. So a lot of us, and we all go through those phases, you know, we want to say, he made me feel this way, it's his fault, it's that. But as soon as we are saying he, she, and not I, we are taking away responsibility of our work, of our emotions, of our lessons. Yes, it would be nice if other people could be a bit nicer and they didn't trigger you, but that's their issue, that's their life, that's their center of their universe. You have your own work, you have your center of your universe to deal with first. So why don't we just send them a bunch of love and light for now, or we can gently grab their hands and gently guide them along a right path, but we definitely don't go and we blame them and we push them down, because we have responsibility to ourselves and universe and others to always work with love, compassion, and wisdom no matter what. That's our responsibility. And some of you may be listening right now and thinking, you know, well, I am angry, it is their fault, and you're so sure about it, and you're so angry, and it bubbles up all within you, and all of this, you know, emotion is coming up, and it's just, wow, that means there's some stuff to release. And sometimes when we get to the releasing and transmuting, releasing is just letting it go. Transmuting is making sure it doesn't happen again. When we get to the releasing and transmuting part of this story, then we really, you know, go inside and we have an opportunity to go deeper. And then perhaps you may see, with love and compassion to yourself and to others, that it was nobody's fault. We were all innocents. We're all trying to do the best every day that we can. We don't go around walking around, most of us don't go around walking around, oh yeah, who can I get angry today? Who can I frustrate today? Oh, I want to give fear to that person, you know. Yes, that's on my to-do list today. Most of us, we don't go out of the door like that. You know, we're never trying to hurt each other. We all come from some wounded pasts or some wounded experiences or traumas that we, you know, hold in our luggage that we haven't released and transmuted yet. So we're all doing the best that we can with the interactions that we can. But if we can bring love, compassion, and wisdom to the interactions and see it as an opportunity to grow, as a lesson, as, you know, a class of the University of Life, we can make major change within ourselves, within our brothers and sisters, within the collective consciousness. Yeah. So in the next videos, I will go through a few different emotions and go in depth about what it means to be angry, how we can transmute anger, for example, and all of these different things. So I hope these videos may be of good use. I'm sending you all lots of love, and I hope you enjoy this series. Bye-bye.